because I do know that she spoke out recently about how YouTube has been behaving towards, like, I don't know if it's just strictly VTubers, but I know that she spoke out recently about issues she's been having with YouTube. And I'm really curious about this. So let's jump into this, because I have a feeling I'm probably going to be pissed because this has been affecting me too. I've been noticing issues with YouTube lately. So let me shift over. Actually, I will, because he usually doesn't put anything substantial. So I'm going to shift over here. This should be good. Okay, let's do this.
Okay, so over the past couple of days, I've been talking about the whole situation between VTubers and YouTube and kind of Twitch in general as well. And it's been a big issue. It seems like a lot of VTubers and VTuber clippers are being striked, taken down, copyrighted, suspended, everything. I mean, it's pretty horrible. And obviously, it seems like the rules just have not really figured themselves out or modernized enough to kind of cater that of a VTuber who is slightly different to someone who does IRL content. Now, Shylily has actually opened up about this in a clip, which I wanted to go through and kind of talk about some of her issues with YouTube and her YouTube channel at the moment, as it seems like she is kind of figuring out what is going on with this, because it's been a pretty difficult time to figure out as a VTuber.
Yeah, Revan, you're right. You know, it's not like the VTubers were not going after the clippers like other people will go after VTubers for copyright claim. And yeah, like with Fillion had a clipper that they got their one of Fillion's clippers that actually worked for Fillion, and he may bring this up, but one of Fillion's clippers that works for her actually got their entire channel fucking nuked by YouTube. And even Philly reached out and said, this guy works for me. He has full permission to actually do these clips. Reinstate his fucking channel. So, like, this is getting, like, out of fucking control with YouTube. Like, YouTube is, yeah, like, but, like, the one, like, Fillions that I know about, Fillion actually paid this guy. This guy actually worked for Fillion, was actually doing the clipping and posting on Fillion's behalf. And they nuked the entire channel. And Fillion was like, what the fuck? Obviously didn't say that because Fillion doesn't swear. But it's just like, YouTube's starting to get out of control. And we're seeing even more stuff that's harming not only VTubers, but content creators in general.
What to do on YouTube and Twitch without getting copyright struck, without getting banned, without
getting eventually reverse the tornado.
Again, at the moment, you guys have seen my videos, it seems like people are getting banned left and right for some of the smallest reasons ever, to the point where it feels like almost like a targeted attack on VTubers themselves. Now, obviously, yeah, here's the clip. Obviously, it says, Shylily reveals why she's done with YouTube. I don't think she's done with YouTube. Like, obviously, the thumbnail here says, I quit YouTube. I don't think she's quitting. I think she's just trying to figure out the fact of, you know, what to actually do with the channel going forward. I just wanted to play a little clip of it and then kind of explain the rest of it. Obviously, as this is a 20-minute clip, I'm not going to throw you guys fully into all of that. But let's just play it and, yeah, we'll talk about it.
Or the algorithm can absolutely push down stuff if it's spicy. Like, one reason I'm figuring out what to do with my YouTube channel, for example, is, let me show you here. Oh, maybe let me not show you. I forgot this video is still on here too. I can just scroll past that video and I want to highlight that situation. Look.
Yeah, I think I saw this part.
What? Oh, hold up. It's weirdly formatted. Hold up.
Yeah, so as you can see, that is the kind of content that Shylily does, and it is pretty, let's just say, it's not exactly the safest in terms of thumbnails and things, and it seems like, you know, she has been getting a lot of issues with being shadow banned, with you know, randomly picking up viewers and not picking up viewers, which I definitely think is a valid concern. But she goes on.
So there's two things that I'm unhappy about with my YouTube. Let me explain. Thing number one, I'm not sure if any of you guys still know these times, but when I first started out on YouTube, videos, especially for how literally brand new my channel was, did really well. I have 500,000 on my first ever uploaded video. I have 1 million on the next one that came right after. I have 100k on just uploading my BGM, which is, you know, that's pretty sick. But then we quickly realized a pattern. We came to realize a pattern rather quickly. I've always wanted to be more of a gaming channel kind of situation, right? But I've noticed rather quickly that whenever the thumbnail and editing and everything was more centered towards clickbaity, breedable, bait, ahegao content, everything did much better. But with that came two problems. The thing is, I don't mind having thumbnails that are all just like, it squirts on command, I'm breedable, whatever this one is. I don't care. Like, it is fine. Don't get me wrong. It's okay. But I really wish that whenever I tried other things, like, it's so inconsistent too. For a while, the React indie content also did really well, and then it just kind of didn't anymore. Like, it did crazy well, and then it just stopped. Then it was just like...
So yeah, obviously it seems like she wants to move away.
It's like... It's almost like with YouTube's algorithm, they will like when certain types of videos are going well, it seems like YouTube, like midstream, will suddenly decide, okay, we don't want to push this anymore, and then they'll change up the algo to make, okay, we want to push this kind of content anymore. So the stuff that was working before, which would, you know, for content creators that expressly just post to YouTube, they're like, okay, this is hitting with the algo. My videos are getting a lot of views. I'm going to keep doing this kind of content. And then all of a sudden, YouTube decides, we're going to flip the algo and we're going to start pushing this. And then content creators who have been trying to maintain the algo by putting out this content, putting out better content in the same relation, all of a sudden, their videos are getting far fewer views because now all of a sudden, this particular kind of content is now getting tagged in the algorithm because YouTube pressed the button and changed up the whole fucking algorithm, and now this kind of content's getting pushing and leaving all these other people in the dust, and they don't know what the fuck to do anymore. So it's like YouTube is kind of basically putting its thumb on the scale and saying, we want to push this kind of algorithm, we want people to watch this kind of content, and is kind of screwing over the content creators themselves, because now it's not, the algorithm is not keying on what people want to watch, what people are enjoying watching and are getting high views. It's now, okay, we want you to watch this content, and that's what the algo is doing. And now they've changed it up even more so that views themselves, clicking on a video to watch a video, no longer really triggers a view. Now, in order for a video to trigger with a view, you need to either like the video or comment on the video or subscribe to the content creator in question, and that will now count more so as a view. It's really fucking screwed up. Like when I was checking my videos earlier today that I posted yesterday, the video that I posted at the very, like overnight, like I posted a video like what was it? Like a video that I posted overnight, and then a video I posted later in the day after I'd woken up had the exact same view count of like 1,200, like roughly around 1,200. And the videos had been posted. They were not like all that different in terms of content. They had almost the exact same view counts and the exact same like counts. And the videos were posted something like 8+ hours apart. So that's something new that YouTube is also doing now to fuck with things, is that actually watching a video on YouTube now does not count as a view. It is only if someone interacts with the video in some way does it quantify as a view for YouTube. It is the squirreliest thing I've ever heard.
From some of the more kind of clickbaity content and kind of move on to, you know, just playing some games and whatever, and just trying to, figure stuff out in terms of gaming content creation. And obviously that can be pretty hard, especially as, a VTuber as well. I mean, people for some reason just aren't as interested anymore, and they're more interested in like, drama.
Mods, leave it alone for now. Hirundo, I have a question. Are you referring to me when you say that you're allowed to get a real job? Just FYI, was that directed to me, or was that directed to the video, or was that directed to someone else? Just out of curiosity. Just out of curiosity, was that, towards me? About, I can go get a real job? Instead of streaming? Did it? Was it? Anyone who's bitching about being a YouTuber. So, Rondo, I will let you in on something. A lot of people who do YouTube also have a job. Many YouTubers, unless they are wildly successful, also have a regular job as well. I do. I have a regular job in addition to doing my streaming and posting my videos onto YouTube the following day, which, by the way, my YouTube channel is not monetized. I make no money from that. However, saying that, like, anybody who is bitching about being a YouTuber, you can go get a real job, here is the fallacy in that argument. Okay, but Hirundo, here's the thing. Here's the fallacy in your argument. If people are doing YouTube and they have achieved success with YouTube to the point where they can make that their full-time job because they're putting out content that people are enjoying and it is earning them a decent living, then it has no longer become their hobby. It has become their job. Many YouTubers may start off as a hobby and then it will become a job because they're able to achieve a modicum of success that will allow them to live off of their YouTube earnings. The problem is now, if YouTube, the platform, if they've been doing the same thing for God knows how long and it's been working well and they're able to make money, and then YouTube decides to, on the dime, turn things around and put their thumb on the scale, how is that the fault of the content creator that has been earning that living? Telling that content creator, well, you can just go get a regular job. They're literally already doing a job. They are entertaining. It is not their fault that the platform that is hosting the videos has decided, well, okay, we're gonna do the thumb on it. We're gonna put the thumb on the scale and basically fuck over all these people that have basically turned YouTube into their job of entertainment. That's not their fault. And to basically say, well, just go get a regular job is unfair to the content creator because it's not like they fell off. It's not like their content has fallen off because people have flat out not been liking their content. They did something that can tank their content. No, this is not, don't pull that bullshit. We are not talking about a content creator that's fallen off because their content's gotten stale. We're not talking about a content creator that's gotten, that's pissed someone off because they've greatly offended people because they did some horrendous shit. This is the parent company playing fuck around with their channel. Okay? This is not like, oh, play a tiny violin. They're doing a literal job. They're being entertainers. They were doing well, and then YouTube decided to play fuck around with this. That is not the same fucking thing as, oh, play a violin, you're so sad. They were doing their thing. They were doing it well. And then an entity above them, the platform, changes the algorithm because they don't want to push that content anymore. That is not the fault of the content creator. They're still doing the same thing. They're still entertaining people. People are still enjoying their content. But YouTube's like, well, we don't want to push this anymore. We are going to push something else. Okay, this is like if you were working as a plumber, if you were subcontracted as a plumber on a construction job, and you're doing your job and you're doing it well, and they say, well, we're going to change up how we want you to do your job. We're going to change the metrics. You didn't do anything wrong, but we're just going to arbitrarily decide to change the metrics of how you're going to get paid and how you're going to do your job, just because we feel like it, because we decided we want to do it this way. That's basically what YouTube is doing. It's not the fault of the content creators. They didn't do anything to tank their channels or anything. It's YouTube that's doing it. So it's not the same thing. And saying, oh, you can just go get a real job is a bullshit excuse. That's a bullshit statement. They're doing a real job. They're doing a real job. A lot of them work their asses off. They have a real job. It's YouTube that's got the problem.
Or Kuma Beta, she says, which obviously can be a big kind of issue. And obviously, yeah, she highlights more of like the inconsistencies of the performance and the direction of her channel. And you know, she says that there's a lot of kind of clickbaity content and stuff like that, which garners more views, but you know, gaming content doesn't garner as much as well. And also, she cites later on in the clip as well that there are some demonetization issues as well, obviously, with some of the content in the game, whether that's due to an actual legitimate reason or due to YouTube's AI obviously striking down things like not fairly. Obviously, you know, it could be due to swearing, it could be due to just playing a gacha game or something like that, which obviously can be pretty terrible. And I've even faced it on my own channel as well. Of
Larith, calm. Altanashi, just hold it. Larith, calm. I got pissed. It's fine. It is a healthy discussion. We are fine. Don't worry, okay? We get heated. Emotions come out. Emotions are spoken. We're good. Don't sweat it. Okay? Yeah, we're pissed. We are pissed, but calm. We're good. All is well. Don't worry, okay? All is well.
Some of my videos getting limited ads, but the moment I request a review, and the moment I request the fact that, you know, oh, hey, I don't think this is right, they literally almost instantly change it back to monetized, and they say, oh yeah, sorry, our bad. Which is kind of interesting that, you know, it's not good enough to recognize that this isn't actually a demonetizable video, and you know, I have to contact staff myself just to get that figured out. But hey, you know, that's pretty interesting. Obviously, she goes on to talk about as well about YouTube shadow banning. Obviously, I do actually think this is
and to his point here that he was just saying before, let me hear it again.
That this isn't actually a demonetizable video, and you know, I have to contact staff myself just to get that figured out. But hey,
to that point, part of the problem here is if YouTube demonetizes your demonetizes a video, part of the problem is you don't have anybody you can talk to. It's all done through a freaking AI system these days. And so trying to get through to YouTube to correct any issues is becoming next to impossible. You have to fill out a form, it goes through an AI, and the AI, like snap judgments, doesn't actually review it, just follows its programming and denies it. And that's part of the other problem, because you can't actually talk to a real person anymore, and you just get like an instantaneous deny, and you've got no recourse to actually speak to someone. So that's a big part of it.
You know, that's pretty interesting. Obviously, she goes on to talk about as well about YouTube shadow banning. Obviously, I do actually think this is a very kind of prevalent thing that happens on YouTube, especially with VTubers, especially with certain like models as well. Some VTubers and some of their content can get shadow banned due to the fact of, you know, some kind of sexual nature or whatever, whether that is to do with their model, whether that's to do with the thumbnail, the title, or what they're doing, whatever. And obviously that can obviously affect their channel pretty heavily, because you can have a video that does extremely good and get like, you know, hundreds of thousands or even millions of views, and then the next minute, you know, you get nothing because you've been absolutely shadow banned by it, which I think.
Yeah. At first, before I knew about what Rev was talking about the other day, when it came to how YouTube is now doing the view thing stuff, there are multiple times when I've been so concerned about being shadow banned myself, where I like when I would post, when I would edit up my reacts and I would post them on YouTube, and I would get abysmally low view counts. And I'm sitting there going, what the fuck is going on? And I'm thinking that I got shadow banned. And that's what I was thinking initially with some of the videos that I posted recently. I'm like, why am I getting absolute shit views with my videos? Like, they would go almost all day, and they would go almost all day, and I would get maybe like 500 views. When traditionally these videos had been like shooting to like 1.5 or 2,000 views in the same amount of time. And the only thing I can think of is they caught a shadow ban. Like, anytime I've posted a video where I had music going on in the background, and I get an email from YouTube saying, well, this video has been banned in these 2 countries because of copyrighted music. And I went, well, fuck, okay, that sucks. But then the view counts on those videos would not be as good as the related videos. And I'm thinking, well, fuck, did they actually shadow ban me? And they might have. And yeah, Assault, you're right. Like, NXR was a slightly different situation altogether. Someone at YouTube had it out for NXR because they were striking the fuck out of that so often. That went beyond the what happened with Henry Genie is beyond the algorithm. With MXR, that was someone behind the scenes at YouTube that wasn't simply putting their thumb on the scale. They had their thumb on the fucking button. And they were royally fucking them over. Big time. Yeah, like someone had it out for them in a big way, and eventually their entire channel got completely nuked, and they were off YouTube for a while until they finally came back on someone else's channel. The channel that they're broadcasting from now is not their own. They're broadcasting through someone else's channel. There are shenanigans happening in YouTube, and they're constantly making changes in a shenanigan-y kind of way. I don't like it. And Fatal, thank you for the tier 1.
It's definitely interesting as well, and obviously it's one of those things that never really gets actually spoken to the creator. It just kind of happens, which I think is very annoying that platforms decide to do that. And
Rondo, goodbye. Thank you, Atana. Thank you, Rygat. I was just about to say that. Chat, in case it's not obvious, you don't fucking disrespect my mods. Disrespecting my mods like that is a way to get yourself instantaneously banned. My mods tell you move on, you move on. And the vast majority of you are wonderful about doing that. Harundo just played a little bit of fuck around and he found out. Good job, Rygat.
They don't actually, speak to their creators and be like, hey, you did this wrong, by the way. Don't do this again, and then you won't have the same issue, which I think, would be nice.
You're fine,
but obviously
Victor, I know.
never do it. I'm not sure why. That's a big issue that other people face as well. And also as well.
Paul Zerpel, to your question, how can one prove if someone's actually shadow banned? Unfortunately, there's no hard evidence when it comes to proving someone got shadow banned. Admittedly, it is somewhat anecdotal, but you can sort of gauge it by metrics. If you are consistently putting videos out of the same general type, the same general content, obviously not identical, but the same type of content that has been doing very well, and you can metric, okay, I've been getting this level of views for my content, and then all of a sudden that same content, like from day to day, suddenly significantly drops in terms of viewership or in terms of engagement, and you haven't changed anything, you would not see a precipitous drop like that unless you were basically shadow banned. Admittedly, it's somewhat anecdotal, but you can make a very good educated guess based on the metrics of how the video is doing. If you see a downward trend, that's one thing. If you see a sharp drop off, the rational explanation behind that is a shadow ban. Because you know, unless you have done something absolutely crazy, like grievously insulted someone, or were like suddenly came out as wildly racist or something of that degree, you won't see a sudden drop off. You'll see you might see a downward trend, but you will not see a drop off. So that's generally speaking how you can gauge if you are the recipient of a shadow ban. It's the best method that currently is available.
And then you won't have the same issue, which I think, you know, would be nice, but obviously they never do it. I'm not sure why. I mean, that's a big issue that other people face as well. And also as well, you know, she expresses her frustration for the inside connections and stuff like that in large agencies. You know, it's harder for some people outside of some big agencies and outside of people who have connections, for people to deal with stuff that goes on YouTube. For example, you know, mass reports, mass demonetization, whatever, literally any kind of like bad kind of attack towards your channel. YouTube has such a terrible support system and such terrible kind of, I guess, computer orientated systems where you don't have to speak to a person at all, which makes...
I'm going to correct his phrasing here. Not that you don't have to speak to someone, but you can't speak with someone. That's I want to correct his phrasing there. It's YouTube's. It's not that you can't you don't have to speak with someone. It's that you can't. Even if you want to speak with someone, you can't. And unless you are a big fucking YouTuber, unless you are a very large YouTuber with a lot of subs, you don't get a rep. You don't have a contact. You're basically a poor schlub that all you can do is you are at the mercy of the AI. And as bad as AI can be right now, YouTube has become so dependent upon AI, which has roughly a 50% failure rate in terms of when like AI generally, even the best AIs like ChatGPT has a failure rate of about 50% where it gets shit wrong. And that is what is controlling the moderation of YouTube. And when you have a 50% failure rate, that's not a good thing to have in control of your the moderation of your platform that hosts literally billions, probably billions at this point, of videos on the platform to determine if it's monetizable, if it's not monetizable, if there's a copyright claim, if it's bannable, etc., etc.
It's often worse because they can never actually figure out the real issue.
You are correct.
Jump through hoops to actually even get any like semblance of your channel back, which is very, very disappointing. And we've seen it recently as well with the Flippin' Fillion channel, for example. That got fully taken down and YouTube did nothing about it. And now it seems like it's pretty hopeless in terms of getting it back. And the, you know, Flippin' Fillion even said, you know, the chances of getting it back is very, very low. And, you know, obviously that is mainly due to...
I thought Flippin' Fillion got reinstated. Am I wrong? I thought for sure Flippin' Fillion actually got reinstated as a channel. Am I incorrect on this? Like it's, I vaguely remember seeing a post saying like, "Hey, the channel's back on," or I don't know. Someone check. This video came out like within like the last couple hours. Okay, last you heard they had. Maybe I could be no. I'm thinking of someone else entirely. I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I am thinking of a completely different channel. My apologies. I'm thinking of the channel that got nuked because YouTube said there was a copyright infringement on the name of it when it was their own name. That's what I'm thinking of. I'm not thinking of Flippin' Fillion. Sorry. My mistake. So Flippin' Fillion is still down, and I don't know. Maybe unless Fillion herself steps in and contacts YouTube through her rep and says, "Listen, this Clipper channel is fine. Reinstate them." Unless Fillion does that, the channel probably won't come back.
YouTube's fault and the way that they deal with VTubers. And as I said, you know, it does seem to be a VTuber mainly thing. Obviously, the whole support thing can also be a FleshTuber thing too. I have that issue. There's a couple of issues that kind of overlap, but also there's a lot of VTuber specific issues, which I definitely think should be changed. She also mentions the fact that, you know, it seems like YouTube are trying to cater to like kids a lot more, when in actual fact they've got an app for kids. You know, you gotta remember, like,
yes, that is such a huge point of contention now. Is like there is literally a YouTube Kids channel, or sorry, a YouTube Kids app. If they want to cater to kids, they literally have a completely separate app specifically for YouTube Kids. And you know what? If no one uses the YouTube Kids app, that's not the fault of the regular content creators. That's not their fault. They are still putting out their content like they have been. And if YouTube wants to do it strictly for kids, then you know what? If someone puts out kids content, then YouTube and they want, you know, and it's something that should be for YouTube Kids, then that's on YouTube to, okay, someone puts out this content. Okay, this belongs on the YouTube Kids app. So it should be YouTube's responsibility to basically go, okay, this is YouTube Kids content app, and either tell the content creator this does not belong in this area. This belongs onto YouTube Kids, or if they should just move the content over to the YouTube Kids. Don't punish the regular content creators because you're too lazy to facilitate making sure that the kids stuff goes to the YouTube Kids app. Because while they're using their AI to nuke fucking channels left, right, and center, they could also be using that AI to make sure that the kids' content actually goes to the kids' app. That is fully within the capabilities of the AI. It's fully capable of it. But they're not doing it. Why? Because probably the regular YouTube channel will make them more money with the ads. That's why they don't do it, is because it makes them more money. And if they moved the kids stuff over to the YouTube Kids app, maybe it doesn't make them more money. Because in the end, bearing in mind, in the end, YouTube is doing all of this for money. All of it. Every decision that is being made here by YouTube is for the purposes of money. And your dog, I'm thinking that they don't have as many advertisers that are willing to put ads on the YouTube Kids app. So that's just one thing to remember. All of these decisions that YouTube is making with the changes to the viewerships, the way that they might shadowban people, why they still have regular kid stuff on the main channels or on the main app. All of it boils down to money. That's something to keep in mind. It's YouTube. The actions that YouTube takes is all in the service of making them money. They are still a business, and all they want is their whole purpose is to make money, and that's what guides all their decisions.
YouTube Kids does exist for a reason, but for some reason they want to just make not regular YouTube into more of a like kids orientated site as well, which I think is definitely interesting. And I think obviously it does suck, especially for Shy Lily, as
that's my suspicion,
really
yard dog.
Creator, and obviously sometimes her videos don't do as good on YouTube due to a lot of these YouTube algorithms. It's not due to the fact that she doesn't make good content or the fact that she doesn't have a good personality or anything like that. No, there is a reason why she's one of the biggest VTubers over on Twitch. It's mainly due to the fact of how YouTube pushes out the video on all of the kind of factors that we mentioned about the performance and the different kind of variations in discovery and like performance, everything like that, which again can be a big issue for a lot of VTubers going forwards and just trying to make like good content and nice content, but obviously it ends up sometimes going bad. And that's why I think a lot of people who want to get into VTubing sometimes struggle whenever it comes to YouTube videos, because again you do find yourself hitting this kind of wall where essentially like YouTube is against you and like everything is against you, despite the
like my YouTube channel is expressly for advertising. I use my YouTube channel to advertise my streams. That is the entire purpose of my YouTube channel. I do not foresee that changing anytime in the near or far future, because YouTube is just too much of a fucking headache to deal with when it comes to the monetization. So, but even using it as advertisement, if my videos are getting suppressed by these new rules, the new way that YouTube is doing views, my videos are not getting out to more people. So more people are not seeing that my stream exists in the first place, and that my content within said stream, excuse me, might be enjoyable for said viewer to come on over and take part in. And whether or not this is happening more to VTubers than real life content creators, I don't know. I am seeing that, you know, and YouTube is supposedly going to be cracking down this. Not like, I know the AI channels are flooding YouTube. AI channels are 100% absolutely flooding the fuck out of YouTube, and that is causing problems. And that's probably one of the reasons why YouTube now has their new AI regulations that they put into place. But the other stuff that they're putting in place is also screwing over content creators, and I guess in particular VTubers. I don't know. They've got to look really hard into this, because the question now comes into play. If things start going downhill with content creators that post on YouTube, I'm wondering if this continues, if in the near future we are going to see a similar thing with YouTube like what we saw with Twitch, where Twitch's rules were pinning down a lot of content creators, particularly VTubers, that many are starting to cross-platform and cross-platform to Kick. Are we going to start seeing more of this with YouTube and Rumble? Because yes, I used to post videos on Rumble. I transferred, ways back, I actually transferred my entire catalog of YouTube videos to Rumble. And I stopped doing that some time ago, where I would simultaneously post both to YouTube and to Rumble. I stopped doing this some time ago because, quite frankly, Rumble is filled with bots. Rumble is still very clunky, and it is still majorly filled with bots. That I want to say like 90 to 95% of the commentary I received on my videos on Rumble, when I was still actually checking it way back when, were all bots. I was getting bot comments, or bot advertisers, basically. They were all bot advertisers, were all of the comments on my Rumble videos. And so I've stopped posting to Rumble. And to that point, I have not had one person show up in my stream, not one of them, that has said, I came here from Rumble. It's always, I came here from YouTube. Not once have I heard, I came here from Rumble. So Rumble, unfortunately, is in no way a competitor for YouTube right now. It is not. It is not a competitor in any way, shape, or form. YouTube, unfortunately, still has a fundamental monopoly when it comes to video posting. Unfortunately. And Tinehander, thank you for the 5 gifted.
The fact that you're trying to just upload a video on their own site, which obviously can get very frustrating. And yeah, that obviously led Shirley to make a whole 20-minute talk about it, which I think is very interesting. And obviously she also goes on to show like a graph, which I thought was quite interesting.
Yes, Lyric, I do.
Saying, like, this would be a video doing good, and then it'll get like demonetized or something, and then it would just go like flat. Which obviously, yeah, you know, it could be on course to be a banger, sorry, not a banner.
Yeah, she talked about this, like where you'll get views, they'll go up, and then out of nowhere just suddenly plateau. I don't know if he's going to play this clip, but they will, like, she basically drew this where it goes up and plateaus. And I've seen a lot of those on my videos, where it will go up, and then suddenly stop and plateaus out. Like, it's on the rise. It's climbing, and then suddenly just flattens out, and I'm not getting that surge in viewership. I see a lot of those, which is what Shy Lily was talking about with like basically shadow banning her videos. It hits a certain hits a certain viewership, and then they basically suppress it. Not shadow ban. Shadow ban is incorrect, but they suppress it. They suppress the video and it plateaus out. I've seen that happen on so many of my videos that it's not even funny. You know, it reaches certain viewership and then flatlines. Doesn't mean that the viewership dies off completely, but it plateaus out and it's not, and I get like no real climb in the viewership like it had. And unless YouTube is putting its thumb on the scale, it should be doing that. It should ease off into a plateau. This one just goes up, 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 flat. And that's a good indicator of it. And Muzzle Walnut, thank you so much for the raid. Welcome in, raiders. We are approaching the tail end of a video about how YouTube looks like they may be suppressing VTubers, unfortunately.
You'd think with how many big tech companies are trying to get in all the space of everyone else, you would think YouTube would have many competitors like how other social medias have.
Well, my guess is no other business has cracked the code when it comes to video posting. YouTube is the OG. They've kind of got the whole thing. You know, YouTube has been in this game for, I want to say, like 2 decades now. And they've got it pretty well refined. And it's really difficult for another platform, another site to really break into this kind of space because YouTube has it so firmly on lock. Not to mention, YouTube has got all of the major, has got so many major partners, like all of, like they've got all the Hollywood studios, they've got all of the news media companies have got channels. And like Andrew said, they're backed by Google money. It's incredibly hard to compete with that. The reason why Kick is making such a good run at Twitch is because Twitch does not have the same lock-in on content the way YouTube does, which is allowed for sites like Kick and for even TikTok to be legit competitors to Twitch. YouTube is kind of a different beast altogether, and they have got every major company is broadcasting on their platform, so they have it on lock.
A banger, and it could be like really, really good, but then obviously, you know, demonetization or whatever hinders it from doing that, and it, you know, it does get very frustrating whenever you see a video that's doing good and all of a sudden it just kind of.
And what Lily was saying here is the demonetization is what flatlines her out. Is she good, and then this red mark that she has here is demonetized. The video will be on the rise. They'll demonetize it, which yoinks it out of the algorithm, and then the video plateaus and flatlines in terms of viewership.
Drops off, which, yeah, I mean, yeah, I can definitely understand Charlie's frustration. I thought it was a very interesting kind of clip and video to talk about because, again, the world of YouTube and VTubing is definitely growing. It's just how will YouTube kind of cater to a lot of these people coming over.
So far, GBP, you are correct. It is.
There's even more people joining every single day. And yeah, we'll just have to wait and see if there is any kind of changes that come out, especially towards VTubers in general. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Also go to GameSubs, use my code Kaza, get 10% off again. They've got a ton of really cool stuff over there. I definitely recommend checking it out. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. That's all. See ya.
All right. Now. So yeah, YouTube, I mean, and bearing in mind, Lily was talking about this before the new rule, like that clip that he was talking about when he was referencing with being suppressed and the demonetization, basically flatlining views. That was actually before the new thing with YouTube that kind of came about, where it changed how views are counted. Bear that in mind. So we've seen changes beyond that, which are causing problems for content creators even more so. So it's just basically been just we're seeing a lot of we're seeing a lot of issues with YouTube that is not boding well for content creators, particularly ones that are monetized. It's yeah, it's not a good situation.